All right, before we get started with the viral videos of the week, Mary, it's been a wild week in the news. For those tuning in, you probably know that Derek Chauvin, the guy who basically murdered George Floyd back last May, Memorial Day weekend in Minneapolis, he was found guilty. Now, Mary, you're the one that, between the both of us, you were the one that actually could watch the trial. I couldn't, I didn't want to watch it because I just knew I would be uncomfortable and probably as emotional as I was seeing the video of George Floyd getting murdered. But yeah, tell me, how was it watching the Derek Chauvin trial?
It was a bit intense, to be honest. I was like, if they find him not guilty, the whole world is going to burn.
Oh.
But if they find him guilty, then, I think he was guilty. That's my stance on it. They did show, repeatedly the whole 9-minute and whatever second video of, from beginning to end of him kneeling on his neck and all that.
Wow.
And I was like, I had never seen the whole video before.
Yeah.
I had just seen a couple seconds here and there.
Yeah.
That was really upsetting to me. I didn't think I was going to get that upset over it because I'm the kind of person who puts on a horror thriller murder movie before I go to bed.
Yeah.
That stuff usually doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But I think because it was real life and not fake, and that, I don't know. It just bothered me.
Yeah. Yeah.
See him responsive 1 second and then the next second he's not. And the guy's still on his neck for what was it, 3 more minutes?
Right. I think it was
something. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it may have been over 9 minutes that Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck. And look,
after he became unconscious.
Oh, gotcha.
It was 3 minutes after he became unconscious. He was still on his neck before he got off.
Yeah. Yeah. Last I checked, George Floyd, it wasn't like he was resisting aggressively from getting arrested. I think once he got the handcuffs on him, he was pretty much, fine.
But how did he feel that threatened by a limp, unconscious person that he still had to be on him?
Well,
he literally wasn't moving or breathing.
Right. It wasn't.
How is that threatening?
It wasn't necessarily threatening. I don't think Derek Chauvin felt threatened. I think that certain other white cops, he has a prejudiced view of black people, and he was leading on that. I do remember watching the video and watching his face, and his face seemed to have no humanity or emotion whatsoever. So, I think it's just the conclusion we can come up with is that this guy is an inhumane racist, and he just didn't really see the wrong he was doing, and thankfully he was found guilty. It was pretty obvious that based on what we saw in the video that this guy should be guilty. However, given the ridiculous amount of examples we've seen of injustice in the police force with black Americans like myself, I wouldn't have been surprised if the verdict wasn't guilty. So thankfully it was, and there were obviously celebrations on the streets of Minneapolis and maybe other parts of the country. So we'll see. Like I said when I posted the article on Facebook, this is just step one. There's still a lot of other bad apples we have to keep in mind of. So we'll see if this Derek Chauvin verdict really turns the tide, as they say. And yeah, just like you, Mary, when I saw the video, and look, I'm a guy that, even though I'm black, I've never, I guess since I've never really had much racist incidents of my life of that caliber, it's always been a topic up until now that I've just been really hesitant to talk about and absorb. But yeah, once I sat through that George Floyd video, it was wow, this is reality, and this is making me angry, and we really have to confront this issue. So yeah, so you know what? Hey, great that the verdict turned out the way it did, and let's keep progress going.